So some of the other big changes, color. There are some of the early mock-ups is that you're going to be able to do some color look and feel. Again, that blue background of Skype. Again, we're still going to maintain support for Android, iOS, and Windows devices. We're going to maintain all of the interoperability that Link has had, and in fact we're going to increase it. We'll talk about that in a slide or two, but we're going to increase some of that interoperability with not only the Office apps but with other video and voice solutions within your organization. So again, keeping all of that in place, still keeping that common icon placement. So the disconnect and connect buttons are going to be at the bottom of the screen just like they are now with Link and with Skype. So we're going to keep a lot of those same look and feel so that we don't have to completely retrain the users, right? We don't want to change so much that it becomes a burden to train users. When we think about call monitoring and multitasking, so we're going to have that always-on call monitor that can sit on the top so that as you're switching across applications, maybe you're not sharing something but you're going to look something up, you can keep that call control up on the screen and not have to swap back and forth. So a lot of times people will be, maybe sharing their screen or sharing an app, or not sharing but just on a call and jump to a different app and not be seeing who else came into the conference call or things like that. But you'll have that always on top call monitor, which Skype has today. Anybody who's familiar with Skype, when you swap applications with Skype, it throws your video feed always on in the upper right-hand corner to maintain that, so that you have that easy switching. Again, those users familiar with Skype, this will be a feature set that a lot of people have been asking about for years in the Link world. Some of the other big things, and we touched on this a little bit a few slides ago, one of the big things that's going to change is touch integration. So instead of having to hover over an icon, you can touch an icon. Why is that key? Because we're moving more and more to this touch-centric world. Windows 8 began it, and this is a talk track I've been having with clients for some time now. In the next X number of years, everything's going to be touch, right? And the debate is how many, right? Is it going to be 2, 5, 10? Who knows? But in some X number of years, everything's going to be a touch device. So Microsoft is really leading the way in that and trying to be innovative and deliver solutions that enable that touch environment so that when you're on a Surface tablet or an iPad or an Android device or any of the various devices, that touch-centric mentality can come through, but we don't want to ignore the keyboard and mouse. You've seen in Windows 10, those of you who have gotten to see a preview of it, that Microsoft is trying to blend that touch and mouse and keyboard environment because not everybody's there on touch yet. But we do want to enable that touch world. So fewer clicks, easier to find your buttons, make things fewer layers deep. You don't have to click in to invite attendees, go 2 tabs over, and get to somewhere. Instead, we're going to put buttons right there that you can touch and go right to it. So you can see the transfer call button or swap device button or hold button are right there at the front of the call control and no longer buried in the menu system of a call. You don't have to click on the phone icon and go over to transfer the call. We're putting that transfer call button right at the front call control screen. So things like that just to make it easier and make it easier in the touch world.